Meeting of the Board of Education to order. I'd like to remind the public that this meeting is being televised on Spectrum and Greenlight Channel 22 and live streamed through the Wilson County Schools YouTube channel. The public can also view the meeting by downloading the Wilson County Schools TV 22 app and through links on the district's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages and the website. Do I hear an approval for the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the agenda for July 21st, 2025 Wilson County Board of Education meeting. Second.
All right, it has been moved by Ms. Powell and seconded by Ms. Boyette and Mr. Breen that we approve the agenda for the July 21st, 2025 board meeting. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next up, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. It's going to be led by Mr. Kyle.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kyle. Next on our agenda, we are moving to the approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair,
Dr. Fitch.
I move that the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 regular board meeting and the June 30th, 2025 special board meeting be approved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Dr. Fitch and seconded by Mr. Breen that the meetings of the special meeting of June 30th, 2025 and the regular board meeting of June 9th, 2025 be approved. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Next, we have the chairman's report, and I'm going to be very brief. I'd like to extend a congratulations to the county commissioners on the ribbon cutting at the new EMS building and the county manager's office. Also, the groundbreaking of the new sheriff's training facility. Beyond that, we just want everybody to have a good and safe summer, and we wish everybody the best. We'll give it over to Dr. Mills for his superintendent report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have three quick items. No-cost summer meals are being provided for all children in Wilson counties who are 18 years old or younger. Families can pick up meals at these school sites: Hearn, Lucama, Vic, Benson Bynum, and Wales from 11:30 to 12:30 Monday through Thursday. We also have our mobile routes again with stops in several locations. More information about these sites can be found on the district website and social media sites. These meals begin in June and will be provided through August 7th and are possible because of federal funds. Big shout out to our school nutrition staff again for their hard work this summer. Operation Backpack is back again in full swing, and if board members or members of the community are interested in donating, now's the time to do it. We're grateful for the donations that we've received so far. For information on how to make a donation, visit our district website or social media site, or contact Miss Lynch. She loves handling Operation Backpack. We'll be collecting backpacks and financial donations through the end of the month, and once the drive ends, the backpacks will be sent to our schools to be distributed to students. This is our 14th year collecting backpacks. Since 2012, we've provided thousands of backpacks to students because of the generosity of the community. It is amazing. And finally, we hope that all of our students and staff have been enjoying the summer break, and the school year will be upon us before we know it, especially to our early college students and staff. Their first day of school is August the 4th, which is only 2 weeks away, and the first day of school for our traditional students is August the 25th. Mark your calendars. I know no one has them marked, so parents, I know you have them marked. So, Mr. Chair, that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Next up on the agenda, we have the section for public input, where each person is granted 3 minutes of 3 minutes of time for his or her presentation. This portion of the meeting is for the board to hear matters of interest to the public. However, obscene, vulgar statements and personal attacks and statements reasonably perceived to be disruptive or imminently threatening to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. As of right this second, we have no speakers. So we will go on to our discussion items. These are our informational items, and I will pass that over to Ms. May.
All right, so we have several contracts for information this afternoon. The first is Instructure. This is formerly known as Scribbles. So this contract is for Scrib Choice, which is our school choice application program online, and Scrib Online, which is our online school records database for our students, as well as our transcript request process. This contract covers all of that at $52,815. Second contract is Learning Focus. This is for professional development, part of which will occur on August 14th, which is our Teaching and Learning Conference, and the other portion will occur on August 18th. So on those teacher work days before school starts. And the total on that is $35,132.13. Pro Care Therapy, this contract is for EC contracted personnel, not to exceed $80,000. The next two contracts are with SHI. The first one is for Patch Management System for $41,290. The second is for an Immutable Backup System for $13,600.55. Both of those contracts are part of the cybersecurity grant that we received and will help make our system more secure and help us better manage our system. And then the last two contracts are for NC Sound for installation of card readers, security cameras, and technology integration for mobile units that are going to be placed at Lucama and Rock Ridge Elementary. The price on the Lucama site is $56,750.52, and the cost for the Rock Ridge site is $55,714.54. Any questions about any of those contracts?
The NC Sound ones, was that grant related or is that?
No, ma'am, that will be local funding.
Any other questions? All right, Ms. May.
Okay, the next information item is a couple of minor revisions to the Student Technology Use and Digital Citizenship Agreement. You will notice the first thing that's redlined in this agreement is the bullet that speaks to the device being in a case. The district in the past has provided cases for the laptops. We no longer do that, so we removed that reference to a case. We just ask that students put them in the laptop portion of a book bag if possible to keep it as protected as possible. And the second revision there is states Wilson County Schools utilizes Google Workspace for education and parents consent to the terms of service for their student to be issued a Google Workspace account for educational purposes. This year, parents will sign this agreement through the parent portion of Infinite Campus. And so when parents access this form, they will be able to click that link, that blue link, Terms of Service, and read those terms before they sign the agreement. And we have a couple of staff members who have children who have already signed up for their parent portal account and completed the form, and they promised me that it's an easy process. It's not. Mr. Breen
I do
says
so
he
much hate
disagrees.
Infinite Campus and signing up for Infinite Campus.
But we don't have a choice.
Not yet.
Yes, be prepared.
So we are doing some parent night training.
Yes, ma'am. So I think we've had about 1,000 people already sign up for accounts since last week when Dr. Batchelor sent that information out. She can correct me if I'm wrong on this. But we will also have support tables at all of our open houses to assist parents. And then we will also, in addition to that, have a parent night. I believe that is going to be in September, specifically around helping parents access the parent portion of Infinite Campus. So we will be providing several support opportunities.
So are we totally out of Power School now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, any questions about that form before I move on to the next? Okay. The next information item is a revised medication authorization form. This form does look totally different than the previous version, so I will say that. The purpose behind revising this form is to have more detailed information when we have situations where medication is administered at school. So our school nurses were directly involved in revamping this form.
Question? Question. I noticed that in the form, you have the things that students may already be allergic to. But what if there are other items that create allergies or that students have allergies? Will there be no blank spaces so that other information can be entered?
Yeah, so we could add another section at the bottom to allow more space for that information to be entered.
Yes,
Yeah, we can make that adjustment.
all right.
Any other questions?
Dr. Pitcher, are you saying that it's already 2 listed there, so are you saying that a student might have more than 2 allergies?
Well, the 2 blank spaces that you have are listing for, it's for self-administration or whatever, but in your second section, it specifically lists things that students, medications that students are allergic to. I took the first 2 spaces that are blank to be medications that just may be regular medications that the students need to take while at school. But the second section lists specific medications that persons may be allergic to, whether it's an epinephrine auto-injector or Neffy or diphenhydramine or whatever. But there may be some other drugs that students are allergic to, but there is nowhere on this form to allow for that to be listed.
Okay.
And that's what I'm asking for.
So I think when the nurses, because I worked with Dr. Baggett and she worked with the nurses on this, I think that column about the diagnosis and then they're allergic to, say, for example, it could be bees, and that would be, what would be put in that blank, allergic to bees. And then what is the medication that they would take, and then the dosage, the route, and the times given. And then if it were, say, peanut butter, then it would be they're allergic to peanut butter. This bottom section doesn't necessarily mean that they're allergic to a medicine.
Okay, but I just use that as the example
Okay.
so that there could be some other space for other things that
Yes, ma'am.
families may need to implicate.
Okay.
I have a question. Am I taken to believe that this is primarily supposed to be in electronic form?
Yes.
Any other questions? All right, then we will move into our action items. First up, we have contracts requiring board approval, and that is administrative services. Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 3 contracts for approval, administrative services. Our first contract for approval is with Playworld. This is for an adaptive playground at Forest Hills Middle School in the amount of $206,336.54. Ms. May and her team had secured some grant funding for this, and will be assisting from Facility Services with sidewalking and fencing as well. Our second contract is with ABCO. This is for the general contracting services, which include the plans, permits, site prep, carpentry, and electrical services for the installation of the mobile unit at Lucama Elementary School in the amount of $108,100. And another contract with ABCO for the same services at Rock Ridge Elementary School for their mobile unit that will be installed. And that is for $149,550.
Any questions? I'd just like to make the comment that, that I really like seeing these adaptive playgrounds go in. There's a lot of students that really helps. But beyond that, if there are no questions,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Bernie.
I move that we adopt or execute the contracts with Playworld for the adaptive playground at Forest Hills Middle School in the amount of $206,336.54, and the 2 contracts with Abco Incorporated for general contracting services to include plans, permits, site prep, carpentry, and electrical services for the installation of mobile units at Lucama Elementary and Rock Ridge Elementary, Lucama being $108,100 and Rock Ridge being $149,550.
It has been moved by Mr. Breen and seconded by Ms. Powell and Mr. Batts that we approve the contracts for Playworld for adaptive playground equipment at Forest Hills Middle School in the amount of $206,336.54, and the 2 contracts with Abco Inc. for general contracting services to include plans, permits, site prep, carpentry, and electrical services for the installation of the mobile units at Lucama Elementary and Rock Ridge Elementary in amounts of $108,100 and $149,550. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, are there, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We will move on to our section B, which is contracts requiring board approval for instructional services. Ms. May?
So we have one contract that requires approval. It's for Howard Technology Solutions for a content filter, classroom management tools, and digital security analytics. This is also part of the cybersecurity grant that Dr. Batchelor secured for the district, and it is $179,340.
All right. Board members, are there any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the contract with Howard Technology Solutions for the content filter, classroom management tools, and digital security analytics in the amount of $179,340.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette and seconded by Ms. Powell that we approve the contract for Howard Technology Solutions for the content filter, classroom management tools, and digital security analytics in the amount of $179,340. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Next up, we are at C, and we are going to, back to Dr. Wilson for, Dr. Williams, for Frederick Douglass Elementary School design approval.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, I will turn the floor over to Mr. John Hand from Oakley Collier Architects to present to the Board of Education the design for Frederick Douglass Elementary School. Mr. Hand will discuss where we're at right now with the design and seek approval from the board for our current layout and current design for Frederick Douglass Elementary School.
Afternoon. displayed on the screen.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good to go? Oh, I'm sorry. Missed two.
Stop forgetting Ms. Powell.
All right, so currently, right now, we are in the design process. We have submitted our design development plans to the school. Dr. Williams has had those. We've had several review meetings with staff and are continuing to have those meetings to gel up the plans and get all the pieces and parts in there that we need to have in to finalize the plans. So the image you have in front of you is the front elevation or front perspective of the school. And based on our original submission, we went back and with Barnhill identified some areas where we could potentially have some cost savings. So we made some modifications. We reduced the amount of brick exposure on the building, changed some of the storefront systems, reducing the amount of spandrel glazing, which helps with the cost. Items like that, simplified the details for the exterior. So right now, the main components of the exterior will be a metal siding, standing seam metal roof, and a brick veneer on other portions. And then all exposed elements will be pre-finished and very low maintenance items. So from the original scheme, it's stayed pretty much the same, just tweaking a few of the elements and working with some of the pieces, the roof slopes and things like that to help minimize construction cost as much as we can. And then there's another slide where we have the rear elevation of the building so that we're trying to keep that as aesthetically pleasing as possible, even though it is the working side with the kitchen and the dumpster enclosure, the mechanical boiler room and electrical room and riser room. So we've carried that same look around the building, so as you go around all sides of the building, you'll continue to see those same elements. And then on the next slide, we have the site plan that we are working with now. We do have a few tweaks to make with this. Gotten some additional information from Dr. Williams, and we'll incorporate that in. We'll add a little bit more staff parking, and we'll also look at some additional parking in the rear of the building for staff and just to supplement those spaces. And currently, we do have 6 bus parks, and I believe that we will only need 3, but we've got additional parking space in that area if the event comes up that we need it. We've maintained 2 of the drives aligned with the current drives that are in place. Again, that is to help. We've already got the pieces in place it helps with the cost instead of having to develop a new drive and move that. And it worked out well with the layout for that. And then going from there, overall plan, the footprint is based off of Jones Elementary. So you'll see a lot of similarities with that plan as you look at the plans and go through. We have refined the spaces through meetings and through conversations with staff and with Dr. Williams, and maximize the use of the space as much as we can. We may have a few tweaks coming. We've got, say, in the kitchen area, we've developed a kitchen equipment schedule and submitted that in for review. So if we get back any comments, there may be a tweak or two on a piece of equipment or things like that. But the floor plan is, at this point, fairly set. We're reviewing casework, those items that go in, and once we get final input from staff on that, we'll revise those if needed and as needed. Square footage wise, we are below 60,000. I believe we're sitting at 59,386 right now. And our target was to be less than that 60,000 square feet. And the next several slides are just enlarged plans of the core area, which houses your media, your multipurpose cafeteria, kitchen, music, art, and then all your administrative spaces. And in these plans, we've identified the control points, so that as you go through, you may see a CR on these pages. That's card readers or controlled access points for security purposes and throughout the school. And again, the next slides will just be the wings. This is the pre-K, K wing, and then we move up to the next slide with the first and second grade. And again, all of the spaces have, we've worked those out with the toilets, with the casework, with the furniture. At the end of the slide, we have the plans that have the actual furniture layouts, and those are, and also included, we added the ceilings. We've eliminated hard ceilings as much as possible. We have all lay-in ceilings to provide access to any components that may be above the ceiling, and also to help reduce those costs of hard ceilings and bulkheads and things. So we've reduced those as much as possible. And these were included just so that you could see that, where we're headed on that piece. The multipurpose room, we're looking at a pitched lay-in ceiling in that room, pitching from the exterior wall to the interior wall to get some height, the height in there for basketball, and also to provide for the acoustics in that space. And we can, again, just more ceiling space, layouts. Lots of ceiling. And then the straight-on view elevations of the building, these just show what was in the renderings. The location of the metal panels, the brick veneer, the amount of glazing that we have, and then the component, the scale of the components as we go through. And all of these components, the exterior, we've kept it as simple as we can keep it, and repeated as many details around the building as we can to help with that repetition. And these are just casework elevations for the classrooms and for the admin areas. Again, those were provided for staff to review and make sure that we've got, if you need 20 cubbies, we've got the 20 cubbies, and those details that we're working through now to make sure everything is in the school that's needed. Kitchen equipment, of course, this is a detailed list of all the equipment that's going in the kitchen along with the components, model numbers, manufacturers, so that we can get all the connections for the mechanicals, electricals, and plumbing for those pieces. And we have submitted that package also for review to the school. And these last couple of pages are the furniture layouts for the rooms. Just giving you an idea, there's other options for layouts, especially in the classrooms. We assigned the number of tables and chairs and pieces just to demonstrate how they fit in the room, and then how much circulation space they leave beyond that. We'll continue to work with Dr. Williams and staff. Next up probably is going to be the media center, discussing that and exactly what we're going to have in there. Right now, we have matched the requirements for books and storage and those components. Now we just need to manipulate those and make sure that they're set up in the way that they'd like to have them set up. So from that standpoint, for us, we have, again, submitted to DPI and DOI, our DD plans for submittal. And we are continuing to move ahead with the construction documents. We have a 90% submittal due August 1st, which we're on schedule for that submission. And from August 1st, we have a September 15th construction bid documents submittal. So we'll have signed, sealed plans ready on September 15th. And that's including a resubmittal back to DPI and DOI at the 90% phase or when comments come in.
So if we approve this plan today, what would be the start for the construction? The proposed start?
I would, December.
With a proposed completion of,
May 20, May of 27.
May of 27.
All right. Has anybody got any questions?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
But for any substantial fluctuations in market price that at this time are unforeseen, do we believe that this school can be constructed on or around our current budget?
We are currently still evaluating these documents, but we have been actively working with the design team and our subcontractor partners to get this building as lean as possible to be within budget.
I've just got to say, I want to commend y'all for everything that y'all have done. I mean, we've come very far very quickly. And I know the amount of work that y'all were putting into it. And it's a testament to how well y'all work together.
Well, thank you.
So, thank you for everything that you've done.
It's fun. There's a lot of pieces, but it's fun.
Any other questions or comments?
So given any unforeseen anythings and everything going according to schedule, then in August of 2027, the students and all would be in that building. School would start there for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve the Frederick Douglass Elementary School design as presented.
All right, it has been moved by Mr. Breen, seconded by Dr. Fitch and Mr. Batts, that we approve the Frederick Douglass school design as presented. Is there any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
I'm going to share this with the county manager at this point.
do you want to tell the public?
Mr. Chair, board members, at this point, I'm going to share these with the county manager at this process, and then I'll report back for the next step in the process as well. I know these are not construction documents, but I do think it's important for us to share that information. I've had contact with him, and there's another document I'll be sharing with you about the process that they have to go through on the county side for funding, which does affect timelines. So we'll be sharing that with you.
All right. Well, thank y'all. Next up, we have the need-based public school capital fund with Dr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll be approaching the time period for the needs-based funding application to open up. As was the case in previous years, the application would open up on August the 1st with a September 13th application due date. Some information in your précis in regards to this fund was established to assist counties with their critical public school building capital needs, and are eligible to counties for construction of new buildings, additions, repairs, and renovations to existing facilities. The counties receiving the grants are required to provide local matching funds from county funds, other non-state funds, or a combination of these sources. At this time, with the application we anticipate opening up, we are coming to the board for direction on what steps or what direction that application would need to be completed for.
All right, board members? Any comments, thoughts,
Application for,
needs-based?
I know, but we've had several conversations. We've talked about combining wells, and so is this for that particular?
Yes.
Could be for that.
Okay.
Which personally, I would like to see us apply for that again.
I don't disagree.
Apply for what, for what?
The same
Wells
project.
Hearn.
Mr. Chair, what were the other projects that were mentioned? There were several others, and I can't remember all the ones that we had discussed before.
Well, we've talked about several, but, you know, several of them we would have to find land for. And yeah, at one point, there was discussion about, Stantonsburg going to Spate as a K-8. But that's really the ones that, I think that Wells Hearn is probably the one that's most ready to be applied for.
There is board members on the application for the needs-based public school capital funds. There is one of the criteria, or not criteria, but one of the prioritizations for the funding would be to consolidation of schools. So if that was the case, that would help our prioritization for funding requests, because that would involve Wells and Hearn being combined and the closure of one school. So that would give us a little more strength in our application process. So in choosing that project, it would hopefully boost our application strength. That is one reason to select that project. Not the only reason, but it does strengthen your application.
Because we would like to stop being denied.
But that is one of the criteria.
Yes, I have no problem with that.
Mr. Kyle, Mr. Batts?
Mr. Chair, I move that we move forward with the needs-based public school capital form application for the system.
Second.
For Wells Hearn, is that right?
Yes.
All right. So it has been moved by Dr. Fitch and seconded by Ms. Powell and Mr. Breen that we move forward with the needs-based application for Wells Hearn. Is there any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously.
We will let you know when those applications become available. They're kind of a little bit random on when they drop on the website.
All right, next up, we have 2024-2025 budget amendments. Ms. Collins.
Mr. Chair, board members, before you, you have the final budget amendments for the 24-25 school year. You have the state expense fund, the local current expense fund, the federal expense fund, the capital outlay expense fund, child nutrition expense fund, the before and after-school care programs, and the local special revenue funds. At this point in time, June is what I would say is cleanup time. And we're, basically, all these budget amendments are aligning revenues and expenses. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have on these.
Board members?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Breen.
I move that we approve the budget amendments for the 2024-2025 state expense fund, local current expense fund, federal expense fund, capital outlay expense fund, child nutrition expense fund, before and after school care program funds, and local special revenue fund.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mr. Breen, seconded by Dr. Fitch, that we approve the budget amendments for the state expense fund, the local current expense fund, the federal expense fund, the capital outlay expense fund, the child nutrition expense fund, the before and after school care program funds, and the local special revenue fund. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Last up, we have draft policy 4160, dual enrollment for high schools. This is a second reading. Ms. May.
This is a second read on this policy, this is a brand-new policy for us, but it's a practice that we've had for several years. We have had dually enrolled high school students, so this policy just outlines that practice.
All right, any questions?
Yes.
All right, Dr. Fitch.
Because the students would be coming in for a portion of the day, and transportation issues. So if they come in the morning, parents are responsible for the transportation in the afternoon if they're not staying there all day, because our buses typically are not running, or if they are coming in for afternoon class, then parents responsible for transportation to school, but they could ride the bus route going home. Is that correct? Is that how that would work?
Yeah, so they would be enrolled with us, but the requirement is for them to have 2 courses.
Right.
So if their 2 courses are scheduled for first and second period, then they would be able to ride the bus to school, but would need a parent or.
For transportation at the end of that half day.
And lightweights.
And the reverse, okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, so that those who may be doing so would not be expecting us to provide transportation both ways.
Yeah, and I think that last sentence outlines that we accept no responsibility for providing the transportation because of those limitations that you just articulated. But if we could provide transportation, if their schedule works out
Right.
such that we could provide one-way transportation, then we would do that.
Okay. And there's also a possibility that they may have one morning and one afternoon class as well.
That's right, that's right. So that's why we put that clause in there, because it's completely dependent on when those courses are offered.
Right, okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve policy 4160, dual enrollment for high school students, second reading.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Ms. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell and Dr. Fitch, that we approve draft policy 4160, dual enrollment at high schools. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Powell?
I move that the Wilson County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and 6, and 115C-319 through 321, to consider confidential student matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402, and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20, United States Code 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3.
All right. It has been moved by Ms. Powell, seconded by Dr. Fitch, that the Wilkes County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in NCGS 143-318.11A1 and 6 and 115C-319 through 321 to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 318.11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 USC 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are now in closed session.
So most of the meeting.